These are special. So you got a thing to jack this up. Now if you come over here, this is before the training. This is before all this stuff was supposed to do. But since you got something here to pick it up, that's good. Of course, if you pick it up, you got to take the discharge chute off all three of them. And then you can reach down here and pick it up. You only want to pick it up level, so everything's going to be pulled out here. This one here, you take all the bars off and out of the way. And if we have to do anything, this here, the deflector plate's going to come up with it. You can't push down until you push on the deflector plate. You got to find that point where the rubber bends, but you're not bringing the metal down and making a pinch point. That's at least a quarter inch. As long as you can slide something across where it's bent and pushed, but it ain't pinching, it's up off of the floor. This one here, once you pick this thing up to work on it, and I've only been to one that they had to do because of the bearing in the bottom. We don't even tell you to check the bearing on this one. So because it's going around and around and around, if it starts making noise or something, you could go through a scenario of checking the bearing. But you got to take the whole front end off so you can try to pry it. Like you want a fine screw, you got to find it. It's sitting on the bearing down here, it's mounted to the end of the shaft coming out of the trough. The only thing that's holding this up is this drum up. I mean, this drum's free in the back. So if we're taking these rollers out, you got to support that drum somehow. We're going to work on this. Say to replace the bearing, you got to raise it up. Now you got to have some way to slide the drum off. So you need 2 points to hold it back here and around the flange on the front, not on the basket. You can't just cinch the basket and pick it. But you're going to need to pick it up and slide it back. That's going to be your biggest concern. So you just might have to pick this thing up, and that's if you're taking the whole machine out. That's how the drum comes off. We don't tell you to check that bearing. Yep. If something starts going wrong with it, because it's going to run good. Now, if they sit too long, the rubber seal is mounted and it overlaps inside a flange inside the drum as the drum's running around the rubber seal. So all the stuff goes over. That'll dry up. This thing's will start shaking. You know, trying to start. You see the Dawn soap over there. And I'll show you where I've been pouring it over here. If it sits, it'll start up. But once it gets going and once you get flow coming in through here and you got poop running in here, all this here kind of goes away. But if it sits dry and gets dry too long, I can't tell you 2 hours, 4 hours, it could start, acts like a big break. It's a solid piece of rubber. It's not turning, the drum's turning. It's just laying over in it. So let's start with the spire rib. You got a spire rib here. Right now I've got the motors turned off to the pumps so that they're cycling in auto, but they're not running. And then I've got 5 minutes set on the fluidizing valve, so it's filling it up with water. So we don't run out of water. We're just going to turn them on and pump in there. Spire rib runs 24/7. Water's coming in over here, it's going clockwise. The paddles down there are going clockwise. And then the paddles down there are like a ceiling fan to me. And they're angled up, so they're going like this to push up. So if it were going like this, they would be scooping stuff down. So it runs 24/7. It's on or off. And then once the pump kicks on, so I was talking to somebody out here, and they said, y'all ain't got no flow in here. And everything's programmable on the screen. Worried about pumping this dry if this thing goes. So we're going to set you to pump every 6 hours, 5 minutes. And 5 minutes is to change out the bottom chamber where the grip's falling into, where we fluidize. So we're going to set you up for 6 hours because we don't want these things, you're not getting no flow in here, and these things just keep pumping, they run dry. Well, they won't run dry, but they'll chug a lug in whatever water's in there. We don't want to overload the classifier. And the classifiers change from year to year. The water comes over through your vortex. Don't run both pumps to it because then it's going to be overpressure. And then it's going to blow the grit past. It ain't going to take the grit out. So it runs about 4 to 7, 8 psi. The gauge is stuck when I send the gauge out here. The spire grip, you hear it, it's kicking on and off right now, and I got it set and running for a little long time right now, just while we're starting it up. But this is going to run 5 seconds every 5 minutes. And the reason being, it takes about 5 seconds for this thing to start and move about one flight. And then it'll sit for 5 minutes, trying to let it drain as much as we can. Now, we're not telling you it's coming out dry, but we're trying to get it out as dry as we possibly can in such a short distance. The problem you're going to have is in here, it's going to fill up the grip if everything's running properly. Because you're just not going to have that much flow coming in. It's just nothing but touch. And if you want to start running more often, but the big thing is you don't want to suck the hole as empty as you can. That'll probably take out the grip more water than is coming through the system in the beginning. If you ever have it, then you can turn it back down. Or when you got constant flow in here later, you can even turn it down to 2 hours. For now, you ain't gonna have, they keep telling me, well, we ain't gonna have much. And if that thing ran every hour, probably that tank out before more come back in. Yep. So this is the classifier. This is your vortex. Your discharge here, and this here is for a bagger. Know how to put bags on it? Yep. Unlatch it, pull it out. Don't open the bags. Don't cut the little tie wraps on it before you get the bags on there, because it's one long bag. And if you can fold it up perfectly like they got it, so put it all on there first and tuck it in nice, then go around, cut the tie wraps, and then peel it down, tie a knot in it. You just let it fill up in the can.
Yep, we'll let it fill up in the can, then when we're ready to tap, we'll cut it off. We can take the stuff out and bring it over to the dump. Just that way it stays sealed and bagged. They don't like smelling stuff. This smell plus it smells.
How do you get it out of the can and into the dumps?
So I'm going to have a loader.
So that's the spider grid system. And well, let me show you the switches. Classifier and auto, you can turn it off, you can turn it in hand. This is the grip wash. We ain't talking about that. You can turn it in hand and run it. Make sure you got it hooked up right, and then you can turn it back off and put it on. The grip wash is a valve on the end of it. Y'all got a pretty good pressure around here. If you shot that valve, so I would tell you to only shoot it for 2 seconds. Hardly nobody does it, and then when you shoot it, you got to meter the valves closed. Just crack it open, you hear some water spraying. But if you spray it, you could wash your grip back down. And this thing's bedded in, then you take out your bed. I'll show you the controls in there. You can change it, you can turn it on, but if you turn it on, if you blast in that cap right now with your full pressure, you're going to blow water out the cap. It ain't a pressure vessel. So you'd have to meter the valve almost closed. You hear it go. And I got to set it to 0 every 55 minutes. So it comes on, it gets a signal, nothing happens. So, but you can turn that on, you can turn it auto, you can come over here and turn it off, or you can leave it auto. Spider grip, off, and on. Like I said, it's on and off. These are disconnects they put in. They have switches. If you turn one off, the whole system goes down. And then the grip pump, you got 2 of them, auto and hand. Okay, this is your 5 So you got one over there, 1/4-inch holes in it. It's going to pick up all your garbage and everything out. And now down here, you see the black between the 2 frames down here? Mm-hmm. That's the rubber. So the rubber is bolted to the deflector shield, and it's overlapping into the drum. And it's actually overlapping a flange in there. The drum spins around it. And this is your lower bearing. Know anything about our fine screen? With the arm that runs around through the bars and comes up and stops, backs up. Well, those you have to check every 6 months for the bearing. And because there's nothing on it, it's just all mounted off the shaft out there. You can try to pry it up and down on the shaft. But with this one, you have to take the whole deflector shield off. And the support for that's supporting the deflector shield. That ain't going around. You got to take all that off. And the bearing's inside where the front of the drum is. Yep. So you have to raise this up, take this whole shield off, and the support arm and the wash bars loose on this end, take the shield off, and then you have to do the pry part. So since it's just rounding around, it's captured, you start having a problem. You can get somebody little down in there and look at the black gasket in there. You see the black gasket? Yep. So he can look around in there and see if there's anything going on, like it's torn or something like that. Other than just looking at it, you want to raise this thing up. Yep. Because there's a ring that goes around. You got to take that ring off, and the gasket come out, and you can see if there's anything more going on. You got your side deflectors, bottom deflector, and that seals your channel. 2 spray wires, they go on. When it's running, backwards and forwards, we're going to have it set for 30 seconds. So it's going to spray on one side for 30 seconds, and spray on the other side for 30 seconds. And lowers, and now on whatever timer it is, the screening wash comes on for 3 seconds up there. And then after the machine stops, this is the dewater, this is the screening. So after the machine completes and everything stops, this here comes on about 15 seconds after for 30 seconds to wash out the dewater chamber.
You take this off, there's another shield in here that gets into the screw room. Got all these little holes around here, we build a plug up here. Doesn't fall out, it builds up, it stays there. The screw end's about right here, so it needs medium. Push it again. It's like playing a quarter game. Not the corner machine pushes $10 like a quarterback.
Pushes and pushes and pushes. And it's forming a plug around here. It's up here, it just squeezes. This is where it dewaters the stuff. It's not coming out so dry. Now, we're only going to get this part that's over here. So it's going to take you a long time before you get anything out. Because if I'm flushing this toilet paper, you might push something off the edge eventually, but then it might not push off again. how long is it going to take you to compress this form of plug of toilet paper? It's going to take a long time. Now, if you take these off, I would basically, I mean, this is a good spot, put them back on, or you can put them out here on the outer side of the holes. Make sure they're nice and tight. If this thing works its way down here, it's going to push out like this, and it's going to compact in here. And then you figure it out. There's only one hole in this thing. Thank God he ain't got the 20 volts on it up there. Two filters here, booster pump. Whatever pressure you got, it kind of brings it back up. Higher pressure you got, higher it will boost it up. So you're coming up to about 60 PSI right on your city one. I don't know what your plant like. There's two filters, comes out in a 1-inch pipe, 3/4, comes through here, goes out, comes over here to your washer nozzles. All this here is so it can flex. 1 lower wash, 2 lower wash, screening wash, and water wash, pressure gauge.
When the water comes in, you got a start level flow and a high level flow. You got a high and a high. Start and high. And then I'm gonna almost guarantee you, as soon as they pump, at least that one, it's gonna go in, and just the basket itself is gonna raise the water level from resistance. Just because it can't get out. If it was like a jet race, it just pretty much go straight through. But it's gonna raise the water level every time you pump up your probably, and it's gonna start the machine every time you pump. Picks up the start level flow, when the machine starts running, and as long as I won't know the exact height, you can always call, advise you how to raise it. So I got it's 14 inches start level, 18 inches high level. So we're trying not to pick up the high level.
You don't want to overflow the machine. So if you can raise it up, and that's fine on a high level. You can put 6 inches in there, try 6 inches until it rushes in, the machine starts, it doesn't hit the high level.
Doesn't flip the high level, and then it runs, and then when it's done running, when the water level goes down, it goes away, the flow will drop back down. 90 seconds after that, it'll stop running.
There's cord grips under the bottom, so when it's loose, we can pull the rubber out and slide it up and down. Floats are blue can and lead weight. The big part of the lead weight's on the bottom. Between the bottom of the lead weight and the top of the float is 6 inches on all of them. The height is set from the bottom of the lead weight to the bottom of the channel. So if you measure the lower one down there,
You'll measure 14 inches from the bottom of the weight and 18 inches from the bottom of the weight to the channel. So that the two weights are here. The bottom one, that's your level to the channel. Because it's going to move some, and then the can's going to tip up and stop.
clean off any buildup. We cycle your valves, make sure they're going on and off. Weekly, we want you to turn on the dewater chamber for 5 minutes. Daily, we want you to come around here and make it run. I would say open this filter, even on potable water. Open this filter about once a month. Shut the valve. Oh, over here. You can shut this water off. That shuts it off to the pump. Over, turn the valve, the hand.
It's going to spurt the pressure out. So now you can screw it off. But if you get really honoring and you screw it off, it's under pressure, you only do it one time.
Because right now there's pressure built up in there. So shut this off, go put the wash in the hand, disperse it for pressure, screw it off, wash the filter off, screw it back on, open the valve, put it back on.
Every 6 months, change your oil. 2 weeks after operation, or $500, whichever one you want to go by. You can go by the meter over there and go $500, keep watching the meter.
Or you can say 2 weeks, change your oil. Common for on our list is an 80-90 for blue gear pumps. All of them. More disconnects in the wirings in series. You hold the reset button once a day. That's a seal. And now it's fine. And after you get poop on there, it'll be even better. So come over here and hold the reset button. Maybe the seal's tighter on there. Wash will come back over here. Screening wash will come on for a few seconds, right there, 3 seconds. And we're going to go in there and change all the time. I'm going to put them back, and I'm going to leave them while we're in there. The dewater chamber. Water just blasting out. Now we hold the plug again. Hold the plug. And it starts up. Y'all ain't going operation for about a month, right?
I would come out here and non-soak and spray on that vacuum between the metal. Let it run down on the side, hose it down with a little water.
Now you can put it in hand, you can jog it forward or reverse, but if it sits, just that one, it's got to get used. You put it in auto, it's going to start automatically. See?